So let's talk about GameStop and, you know, them making money off 9/11 victims. So GameStop took down an NFT based on a 9/11 victim. Currently in beta, the Gamestop Nft Marketplace allows customers to buy and sell NFTs minted by an approved selection of creators. One of those creators named Jules minted and began selling an NFT called Falling Man, in which a figure resembling the iconic Associated Press photograph of a man falling from the World Trade Center on 9/11, called the Falling Man, is dressed like an astronaut and described with the caption, this one probably fell from the MIR station. This person tweeted out, not only is GameStop selling an NFT of the victim of a tragedy, it's the featured image when Googling GameStop. Oh wow. That's bad. And you know what? I gotta say this. Had there been no backlash to this, that would still be on the fucking marketplace for GameStop. Guarantee it. No doubt in my mind. Like, and that's because that's how corporations work. They push the envelope until there's backlash, and then they backtrack. Oh my God, we're back, and I'm joined with Doc. It's been a long day. I did a recording of a podcast for Regiment, and I'm doing a podcast with you today. This is the first time that I've ever done 2 podcast recordings in one day. Plus, I went to the Renaissance Fair today.
Or you.
Plus, I went to the Renaissance Fair today. So, like, me and Alicia, we it's funny because she's like, after Mike reached out to me about recording on Saturday, I was like, yeah, man, I'm good. Not even an hour later, Alicia sends me a text like, you want to go to the Renaissance Fair Saturday? I'm like, fuck. So like, I was like, yeah, we can do that. I just got to schedule the podcast in the morning, which I did. So that we met up around just before 10 a.m. and then we started recording a little bit after 10, and that went till after 1. So it was a pretty long episode. We went almost 3 hours. And then
I guess it's just the ye old podcast.
Yeah, fucking right, bro. And then after that, me and Alicia actually got outfits to go to the Renaissance Fair this time, and because we've always wanted to dress up. I've always wanted to dress up for the Renaissance Fair, but I never had anything. So I bought a bunch of shit, and then we went and we got some stuff. I want to get more authentic shit though. I was more like, I looked like a pagan pirate. I was trying to go Viking, but I couldn't find any like really good authentic Viking wear.
Let's be real. We would be pagan as fuck. Or no, peasant as fuck. That's what I'm thinking of. We would be peasant as fuck in that era.
No, I would not.
Yes, we definitely would be.
No, in that era, I'd be. So if I was alive, if I follow my family's lineage, and I was alive during that time, I would be 100% be a I'd fight in wars and shit. I'd be a soldier. And
yeah, that's not the same. That's pretty much peasant that just knows how to fight.
Well, based off my lineage, if I was alive during those days, I'd be in Norway or Scotland. So
as most of them were.
Most of them were, but it wasn't in like, you know, medieval Europe or anything like that. I'd be in like Scotland or Norway. So I'd be like
freezing your ass off.
I'd be freezing my ass off and then killing people and raiding their towns and taking their
I'd want to kill people too if it was that fucking cold.
So would I. I mean, the cold, something about the cold makes you do things. Some horrible things.
I mean, let's look at all of Illinois. Everybody hates their life there because it's just snowy and cold.
Yeah, but they they also move up to a more north state called Wisconsin.
Yeah, to make y'all more miserable. That's mainly because of the taxes. Honestly.
They really do. Illinois people that move up here make our lives so much fucking worse. And I hate you motherfuckers for this. I really do. Like, some people in Illinois, and me, I'm from Illinois, so I can say this, but like, I moved from Illinois to Wisconsin before it was cool. So I, like, people that move from Illinois, it's like you're driving their prices up. You cause more accidents because you can't drive for shit.
Like when Californians moved to Texas.
I know. It's just people in those states like Texas and shit, they hate Californians.
You're ruining our state.
You're making it so much harder for us. So
go back where you came from.
Go back.
California.
So yeah, we're actually talking about going back to the Renaissance Fair and like sometime next month, and I'm gonna try to get some more like, I want to get an axe. I want to get a more authentic Norse tunic. and like, you know, kind of, because I went with like a fucking like a Jacobite shirt and like pirate pants. I looked like a Viking pirate because I had my pirate boots and shit, but I want to get more authentic like Norse boots, and I want to get like.
Isn't that kind of an oxymoron? Like, technically weren't Vikings kind of pirates too?
Not really, because pirates went after other ships. Vikings raided towns.
Well, they raided everything.
They raided everything. They really did. Like, I mean, I guess you could say Vikings were like the very early days of pirating, because it was like Vikings were around in like, yeah, Vikings were around in like 900, 800 AD starting. And it was like well before piracy was like really a thing. Piracy, it's funny because I actually watched a documentary about how piracy started. Pirates and piracy started after the fucking what was the war?
I went to public school. I don't know.
It was a war against Spain and like Europe.
The Spanish War.
Oh, the Spanish War. See, I keep thinking Spanish-American War, but the Spanish War is how.
I actually don't know if that's right. I wouldn't.
Well, shit. Actually, like, you know,
I have no fucking idea.
Let me look. It was this. I believe it was the Spanish War.
If it was, I'm gonna feel like the smartest.
No, Spanish-American War. No, because that wasn't it.
I'm gonna feel like Billy Madison
war against
wins the third grade spelling test.
Spain and England.
Google's gonna be like, which time?
The Anglo-Spanish War.
I was close. I had
so basically like England and Spain hated each other, and pirates actually, like, piracy didn't like really start sparking up until after, because they had what was called you know, you had your the Navy didn't have like Royal Navy guys. They were like recruiting kind of like whale fishermen and shit, like just normal sailors and stuff, like people that just worked as fishermen to fight in that war. What were they called? What the fuck were? Let's see.
Sailors.
Oops, no, it wasn't sailors, dude.
Sailors used to fuck manatees
because they thought that's where mermaids came from.
That's funny. It's because it has the most similar vagina to a human.
Wow, the earliest form of piracy was the sea people who threatened ships sailing in the Aegean Sea in 14th century BC.
The sea people.
So piracy really truly became what it is that we know it now between the 1650s and the 1730s. It was called the Golden Age of piracy. Piracy when they mostly hung around. Yeah, that's what. So the buccaneering period, approximately 1650 to 1680, characterized by the Anglo-French seamen based in Jamaica, Tortugas, attacking Spanish colonies and shipping in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific. So I'm trying to remember the term that these fucking dudes were called.
Pirates.
Before they were pirates. Like there was another term for them. And it wasn't, they weren't, no, they weren't pirates. Like, it's literally at the fucking tip of my tongue.
Plunders.
Would you fucking stop? It's not, no.
Just throwing the words out there.
Let's see. They were they were contract sailors.
Contract plunderers.
Contract sailors in the...
I'm a contract sailor.
Spanish War.
I signed a contract.
Not Spanish-American War. Fuck.
Thank you for coming to the Blacklisted History lesson today.
Yeah, we're going to get a fucking history lesson because I don't care. I'm tired and I don't give a fuck. Contract sailors in the... Anglo-Spanish.
Aren't we all contract sailors, though?
Anglo-Spanish War, let's see. What were they called? This is driving me fucking nuts.
Well, they could have been fucking nuts. That could have been it.
So essentially, like, the point I'm trying to get at is that there were like these contracted sailors that were, you know, hired by the Royal Navy by England to basically fight the Spaniards. And once the war was over with, the England had no use for them anymore. So they basically just left them to just fend for themselves. They didn't give them any money to retire or anything like that. They didn't help them out on their ventures afterwards, and they weren't getting paid anymore.
Oh, they were American military. Oh, that makes sense.
Essentially, yeah. So, but no, but like these sailors and stuff, they made their life away from that. All they knew was fighting the Spaniards, and they were being paid by England to do it. And then once the war ended, they just cut ties with them. And then they said,
we've been fucking our military over for centuries.
I mean, people like big countries have been doing that. Yeah, sure. So afterwards, and this is how Blackbeard and everybody came to be, because they were these merchant sailors, and they were just like, hey, we have no fucking ways of making a living anymore, and how are we going to make money? So they started like, working with each other and just started raiding English ships and Spanish ships for their plunder, and making like these down in the Caribbean, making these safe havens for pirates. And that's how piracy came to be. So that was around the 1600s and early 1700s. But Vikings predate that. So I want to actually go in with authentic Viking wear. I had this idea. I actually talked to somebody about this today, about, hey, what would happen if I brought like 30 dudes who were like all Viking, like just all Viking role players, to like throw a wrench in the narrative of the Renaissance Fair?
Can they throw actual wrenches?
No, they can't throw actual wrenches, Doc. You fucker. No, man. No, so like I like, this was like a completely serious thing that I was like considering. I'm like, I've always wanted to, like, because how it works at the Renaissance Fair is they actually have like a queen and stuff and a royal army and shit, and it's basically medieval role players, and they take it extremely seriously, to the point where it's like, they have these set events throughout the day where they role play these characters, and the only time that they kind of like intermingle with the public is in between going to these places. And I asked the guy, I was like, hey, what would they say about like a large group of people coming in to like throw their own narrative at them? What would they do? Would they get pissed off? And said, apparently, he said, no, actually, he said, if you cleared it with the park first, they would actually probably be completely open for you doing that, to like kind of mix things up a little bit. Just as long as it was within reason and you weren't like impeding with like the events and shit. But like kind of like when the queen wanders around with her royal guard to like talk to the people and stuff, and just have like 20 Vikings there like threaten them and shit, and just kind of like throw like this new narrative into it. I kind of thought it'd be pretty cool to do something like that, where it's like we go there and raid, and we're like, we've come for your queen, or like give us like your army's weight in gold, and we'll leave you be. If not, if our demands aren't met, then we will take your queen, type thing. Just show up with a bunch of dudes, like basically reenact the Great Heathen Army, and just show up with a bunch of fucking pagan looking dudes that are like Vikings. Because like, they did have to deal with like Germanic Vikings back in those times, in like Germany and stuff. And the heathens were like a nuisance around that time. So it could be like late century Vikings. They just weren't, like traveling on sea because they didn't have to. So I thought about doing something like that. And apparently
like Leif Erikson Day.
Leif Erikson Day? Yeah. Do you even know who Leif Erikson was?
Nope. I know it was in SpongeBob, though.
It's actually kind of funny because if you watch Vikings Valhalla on Netflix, the main character is Leif Erikson. And it is literally this. It's the same Leif Erikson. It's the one that character's like the reference is named after. So
I'm just glad that he's an actual Viking and SpongeBob is historically accurate.
Yeah, I even said that. I'm like I was like, Leif Erikson is a real fucking person, and he was a legit Viking. He was like probably about 100 years after like the History Channel show, the Vikings with Ragnar Lothbrok and all that shit. Have you seen that show?
Nope.
Dude, you got to watch it. It's so good.
But the TV show, rarely do I have the mental fortitude for myself to not squirrel out.
And that's because you're like a goddamn squirrel.
Literally, my text message screams squirrel when I get a notification.
I have a headache because I'm dehydrated. I'm
Doc recommends water. So
what do you think I'm drinking right now?
Alcohol.
I'm drinking. No, this is water, dude. I did refill yours. You're welcome. I put all the last remaining water in that thing because I love you.
I wonder if Steph's ventured into the bathroom or not yet.
What?
From when I took a shit earlier, if she's like braved the bathroom yet.
When are you guys getting married?
It's a great question.
That is a great question. Oh, apparently, hey honey, Steph invited me and you to a wedding around here, like about an hour south from here, in September, and wants to invite us because she really wants Doc to go, but knows that
I have to go regardless.
Oh, he has to go, but she wants us to go to kind of keep keep them company because, huh? No, we don't know these people. The only people we would know is Eldridge and Stephanie.
That's all I know.
Hey, will there be free food and beverage, or do we have to pay our way?
Yeah.
There's free food and beverage? You better not be lying about this.
No.
Then we'll go. We'll 100% go. Tell Stephanie that we will go.
That's all it took. Wow.
Yeah, we haven't seen you guys in a while, but if there is free sustenance there, then we will, then we won't argue it.
Fair enough. I'm telling her exactly that was what swayed the answer.
The drink and the food and drink was our motivation to go. You okay, honey?
Yeah.
So she bought a new course. She bought a course set at the Renaissance Fair, and it was like a legit one. So they absolutely tightened the fuck out of it. They literally pushed her guts into her ass. That's how fucking and her tits into her mouth. That's how fucking tight they have this thing. And she's
shouldn't
walking
they be
around.
in your mouth? Isn't that where that's supposed to be?
Oh, they were, but at the time during the Renaissance Fair, it was just basically they squeezed the midsection so hard. And she bought it because she wanted a legit one. She bought one off of Amazon, and then she was like, "I want a real course set off of out of the Ren Fair." So she got one, and they took her to a back room to the lady tightened it legit, put it on her, sized her for it and stuff, and then gave her the one for her right size and tightened the shit out of it. Yes, yeah. So she was walking around, and she was like, "Oh my god." Oh my god!
Makes me think of the scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where she just falls over the edge because she can't breathe.
Yeah, it was essentially. I was kind of watching her for that because it was kind of hot outside. I'm like, if she passes out, I'm gonna cut this fucking thing right off her. So, yeah.
You just hear Stephanie yelling at the cat in the kitchen right now.
I can't hear that at all. Is your cat being a complete bitch?
That's always. But apparently she's super hungry and she acts like she's starving and never gets food.
I felt bad for our dogs because we didn't feed them. We didn't get feed them until we got home, and we got home at 8 something. So
this cat has continuous food. There's always food. She gets wet food twice a day, and there's always dry food. And she acts like we just never feed.
You starve. Cats are like that though. Fucking cats.
How dare you neglect me and not feed me? You have foods in your plate right now.
Exactly. So let's go down the list of topics here, kids. Some very interesting.
We got kids listening to this. We got other problems.
Yeah, I always tell people if you're under 18, don't listen to this show. There's a few interesting topics this week, and one really big one that I was like, oh no, when I saw it. Yeah. And so we'll get into that. First topics first. Let's go down the list. So Dr. Disrespect's new game that he's been talking about was finally revealed, along with the PC specs and the requirements for the minimum requirements for being able to get his game and play it.
Project Moon.
Is that what it's called? Midnight's his studio called Midnight Society's Project Moon, yeah. So along with some snapshots of that game. So I'm pretty excited to see this. And based off of the things I've seen, he's being really transparent about everything. So at first I was like it was one of those things for me where I was like, when he announced doing that, I'm like, man, he has a lot riding on this because of all the shit that he's talked about every game.
Yeah. If the audio isn't pristine, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
If the user interface, the audio isn't pristine, if the map design, I actually, I'd say if anything, I think that will be the best, it'll be the map level design, because he was a level developer for Call of Duty at one point.
Yeah.
Before Yeah, for Advanced Warfare. So he knows map design very well. So I can't imagine that his level design will be shit. I really can't.
And that was a very vertical game too.
It was. Verticality is a very positive thing to put into a shooter. Like it adds another dynamic.
I guess it's supposed to be like a vertical VR type thing. It's gonna be weird.
Who know? I really don't know. We'll dive in more into it when we get to it.
Yeah.
So, another one.
Stone Mountain dive into it a little bit.
Another topic which I was actually really surprised to hear, to be honest, was now Xbox has Discord voice chat compatibility coming.
Sony, get your shit together.
Here's my thing about the whole Sony thing not having this. I'm willing to bet that the reason why you can't use voice chat on Discord with PlayStation is because of Sony.
Probably.
Their partnership was such a fucking cop out. Like the Sony partnership with Discord was essentially just to show people on Discord that you were playing on PlayStation with no voice compatibility. And I think that's because Sony and their privacy shit, especially with how they want to monitor voice chats,
they can't lack of privacy.
The lack of privacy. So how Sony wants to monitor voice chats within PlayStation, them having Discord completely takes that away from them. So I think that's one of the big reasons why it's not there. However, Xbox, though, even though Microsoft and Discord's partnership never actually happened, now Xbox, it's in the beta stages right now, but it's Xbox owners will actually be able to connect to Discord voice chats from their console. So cool. Sony,
you know, that's gonna force PlayStation to kind of like get the ball going.
I mean, we'll see. Sony's pretty headstrong about doing shit like that. Like they're very,
but it takes this type of stuff to pressure them into. They're just the last ones to fucking.
They have to
give in.
They have to, and if they don't, they're dumb. But so a couple weeks ago, me and Nelson talked about how GameStop was diving into the NFT world, and. Diving, diving, no pun intended, honestly. But the first ever NFT that GameStop showcased was pretty fucked up to the point where they ended up having to remove it after some backlash because the NFT was modeled after the falling man from the 9/11 images, the guy that was jumping out of the Twin Towers to his death. Someone made an NFT.
Was so funny.
Someone made it.
That aren't tracking.
Yeah, dude. You when I sent you the image of this, like this, like this, they're like, you're like, oh, it kind of looks like the 9/11 guy, and I'm like, that's exactly what it was modeled after, and you're like, oh shit. But yeah, someone modeled an NFT after the 9/11 falling man, and that was GameStop's first promoted NFT, which is extremely fucked up. But then again, it also highlights like exactly where GameStop is heading, and that's at a nosedive. So another weird one that actually just happened today.
We should have never saved them.
What? Oh, you mean with the meme stock thing?
Yeah.
I know. So Steam, Epic, PayPal, and Battle.net have been banned from Indonesia. So we're going to dive into why, because I think it's deep. And it's got to be a licensing thing, but it's deep in this article somewhere. So we'll dive into that.
Sort of.
So and also a better Ubisoft. Who is a better Ubisoft, by the way?
It's just like the agreement. It's like the name of the agreement, yeah.
So a better Ubisoft says that none of its demands have been met over the past year by Ubisoft. So Ubisoft continues to lose talent by ignoring a better Ubisoft's demands. Not surprising at all, especially now that Skull and Bones. Huh?
I said what?
Ubisoft doing things like that. No, I don't see that happening at all. Also, their Skull and Bones reveal has me really concerned because it looks like a bastardized version of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And like, I got another topic we can talk about Ubisoft related. Ubisoft canceling a bunch of titles.
That's all that. Which ones again?
Hang on, let me pull up the article. Because one of them is a game that I said they were going to cancel.
You mean like stopping development for?
Yeah, completely canceling the project altogether. let's go. I'm gonna send this to you.
I think that image you're talking about, the black flag thing, is the exact picture that's on this article.
Yeah, it is. So Ubisoft is actually canceling a bunch of its projects to include the Ghost Recon Battle Royale game called Ghost Recon Battle Royale game called Ghost Recon Frontline, Splinter Cell VR, and 2 other unannounced titles. So
to play a Ghost Recon Battle Royale.
Nobody wanted this. Nobody wanted that Battle Royale at all. And when they announced that they were making a Battle Royale for Ghost Recon, the backlash was so severe that they put that project on hold. And they delayed the beta or the alpha release, like the testing alpha that they were going to put out. And they didn't have an announcement date of when they were going to open that up. And as soon as they postponed the release for the alpha, I knew they were going to cancel it, because I'm like, that means they're going to probably like evaluate their life and cancel that project. And lo and behold, guess what? They canceled it. So, but it also raises a bunch of other questions about what are Ubisoft's priorities right now.
We're trying to figure that out. I think they're still trying to figure that out.
So the big story that I have today, which is extremely disappointing, and I apologize to everybody. So everyone knows Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Maybe not everybody, because I don't think Doc plays this, but Knights of the Old Republic has been hailed the best, probably one of the best, if not the best RPGs ever made. And not too long ago, it was announced that a Knights of the Old Republic remake was underway with a projected release date of, I want to say it was projected to release in 2022 at the end of this year, which is why I have a lot of concerns about this, because it sounded like the publisher was like, we want to release it this year. But people were saying, no, that's not possible. And they fired them. The publisher, I want to say the publisher is EA.
Asper.
But
the publisher. I'm thinking
Asper. Oh, so Asper fired the people that were in like some major leads in the development cycle. They fired them because they were like, hey, that's not possible. And they're like, well, if that's not possible, then you're gone. So as a result, the remake has been indefinitely delayed. So we're not getting a Knights of the Old Republic anytime soon.
But that doesn't mean at all.
It could mean not at all. Especially if at all, the way that this sounds, like with the way that Asper is handling this and wanting to go about the releasing of this, they're going to rush them and it's going to come out like shit.
Like most games that come out now.
Yeah, but Knights of the Old Republic will send shockwaves through the gaming industry, because I know how the community will react to that. That's a very good game that everybody holds dear. And a remake or a sequel is something that everyone's been begging for years, especially from EA, because EA held the license for Star Wars for so long. And now that other studios are actually making Star Wars games, it actually sparked the whole, we might actually get a Knights of the Old Republic game finally. And then it got announced that one's underway. So everyone was like, oh my God, it's happening finally. And then they hear this shit and seeing how it's being handled with how they want to rush it out. So I am very concerned about where this is going.
You know what game people would lose their mind about if they fucked up?
What?
They remade 007 GoldenEye.
That game's already been remade and fucked up.
No, I'm talking about like now.
GoldenEye was remade probably like 6 years ago, and they fucked it up.
That doesn't really count to me.
I mean, it was still GoldenEye.
Was it though?
Technically, yes, it was. Same maps and everything. But so I noticed that Mike, the host of Regiment's podcast, is a huge Call of Duty fanboy.
As a lot of people in Regiment are.
I think I really hope that I'm swaying his opinion on like actually like diving into Call of Duty as hard as he wants to.
We talked about the not pre-ordering it, and
yeah, I told him not to. He said, I'm not, and I told him to stop using the store. And I also told him how I think Activision, the true intentions behind the large file sizes. He's like, yeah, I've heard of that. I'm like, yeah, I've been talking about that for over a year now. Like before that became like a popular opinion.
I told him about the game that's under development, the like N squared, like the Call of Duty squared game.
What the fuck is that?
But Google it. Just Google Call of Duty squared, and it'll get the right thing. I told him to Google that because I couldn't remember what it was called, and it'll come up with the right. It'll come up with the right thing. It's like it's a mod that has every Call of Duty from like MW2 put together.
There's a Call of Duty client based off the MW2 engine with all new features, weapons, perks. Huh. Did you see the Battlefield 3 realism mod?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god. Look that up now. Look up the Battlefield 3 realism mod. Dude, it's wild.
What you said, BF3
Battlefield 3 realism mod.
That's the first thing that popped up.
Like basically someone added like new engine texturing and shit like that to where it looks crazy. I watched video.
SM2 was the thing I was thinking of.
Yeah, I saw that. So, but yeah, the Battlefield 3 realism mod looks fucking wild. I sent you the video of it. You didn't get it? I sent that a TikTok of it to you.
It might not. A lot
Oh
of
my
the
fucking
TikToks
God.
you sent me, it says video unavailable.
I don't know why. That's just you, bro.
Maybe they take the
What's
video
up, babe?
down.
What's up? I know. Are you? How long are you going to yeehaw for?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's playing Red Dead Redemption 2, but she's fading quickly.
I love watching horses do stupid shit in that game.
Dude, I had like when I was playing that game the other day, one of the horses in the camp would like their head was phased into the ground and their ass was in the air, and then it just adjusted itself, and it was during a cutscene. It was pretty funny. All right, so let's talk about Dr. Disrespect, kids. I put a new pouch in because I hadn't had really any all day.
2-time blockbuster champion.
1990, whatever the fuck.
I think it's 1999.
I think that's the whole thing about the mantra of his character is the fucking 1999 back-to-back blockbuster champion. I was like, this is the 90s, dude. It was like 30-something years ago. Huh? Because it was like the 90s, bro. It was like 30-something fucking years ago. But okay.
I don't want to think about that. My birthday is literally...
You know, it's actually been a proven fact that
hour.
most millennials, when they think of 30 years ago, they think of the 70s. We're old, bro. We're fucking old, man.
You know the 90s show that's going to be like a spinoff of that 70s show?
Yeah.
So when that 70s show came out, it was like 20-something years.
Has it really been 20 years?
It's been more. So when the time between the 90s and when the show is going to come out is actually longer than it was between the 70s and when that 70s show came out. I know that one hurts me.
God.
That's painful to think about.
God damn.
So like the people from the 70s that were watching that 70s show, it was less time for them than it is for us to be watching that show. Yeah.
Wait, so like you're saying that 90s show that's coming out, the time in the show from the 70s to the 90s is shorter than the actual fucking time the show came out to now?
No. So it was that 70s show. So the time between the 70s and when the show came out is less time than the 90s and when that 90s show is coming out. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
oh, fuck that. No more.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
all right, let's talk
about the Nope train. The fuck that, Bill.
All right, so let's talk about Dr. Disrespect. So Dr. Disrespect Midnight Society game reveals minimum PC requirements. Ahead of the Los Angeles Founders event for Midnight Society, the game studio reveals the minimum PC requirements for the snapshot of Project Moon. What up, What up, 2-time?
Reading problems.
All right, cool. So, few names of the streaming industry turn more heads than Doc. Not you, by the way.
Not me.
With an appearance like no other and a bold personality to back it up, Dr. Disrespect is one of the most successful gaming content creators on YouTube. And he is instantly recognizable, which is Not a lie. You fucking look at. Name another fucking internet personality that's more like recognizable than Dr. Disrespect.
That man.
More recognizable than Dr. Disrespect. I mean, Tim can easily be like blending with other bald fat guys. It's very easy. Bald fat guys with a beard. There's like a million of those. How many Dr. Disrespects are there? You know, I love Tim.
Ninja.
Don't get me wrong. Ninja looks like every blue-haired fuckboy that you've ever seen at Comic-Con. Come on.
I've never been to Comic-Con.
My point still stands. Ninja looks just like other kids that look like Ninja.
No, he looks like he has cancer.
Oh my God. No, he doesn't. But Dr. Disrespect is very recognizable of all of them. So, however, the Doc is famous for more than just his gaming persona on stream. In addition, he has started
banned on YouTube.
What?
I'm sorry, being banned on Twitch.
Oh, I was gonna say, wait, what?
No, I just read YouTube and I said YouTube.
In addition, he has started his own AAA gaming studio. Known as Midnight Society, this game studio funded by Dr. Disrespect caught the attention of not only fans of the streamer, but also many in the gaming community. As the development of the studio's first game, named Project Moon, continues, a founders event in Los Angeles, California is taking place. While the full release of the game might be years away, Midnight Society is allowing founders to chance to test out a snapshot of the game. In addition, the studio has revealed new details of what it would take to run this early build. What does that mean by play like runs like play snap so test out a snapshot?
They're having like little mini betas or alphas as the game comes out. So like a little area of the map. The Stone Mountain 64, he did a good breakdown of it when an earlier portion of this came out, and they kind of broke it down. They broke it down, and he was just going over it of like the different things that you're going to be able to do in the snapshots of it. So it's going to be like a portion of the game. So, like, if you can play one part of the game with, like, one gun in one room, and then it's going to move to the next portion, you can play that. So, it's like breaking it down of little alphas you get to play, and they're taking feedback from all that.
Okay. So, it's like segmented. So, it's not like a full, like, 10 versus 10 beta. It's a segmented individual thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's see. Ahead of the release of the first snapshot of Project Moon, Midnight Society unveiled the minimum PC requirements to run the game. While it should come as to no surprise that a game being developed by Dr. Disrespect is looking to be on the cutting edge of graphics, some are likely not expecting the requirements needed to run the hardware to be so high. The list of specifications for the snapshot can be found below. So you need Windows 10, 4.2 gigahertz i7 7700K processor. Woo!
Is that a lot? I have no knowledge of.
I mean, it's not too
PC
crazy.
specs.
i7's not that bad. Like most people are running an i9 right now. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Now that's a lot.
Is it?
Yeah, 32 gigabytes. I have 48,
Okay.
and that is said to be overkill. Most people run 16.
Wow. I wonder
So
what mine are.
most people run half of what is required. 20 gigabytes available on HDD space and an NVIDIA GTX 1080. So that's just the minimum.
10. That's not the newest.
No, it's not. The newest is like the 3 series. The 3090 is the top of the line one right now. So unsurprisingly, a number of the gamers on social media were quick to respond to the news from YouTube streamer Dr. Disrespect and Midnight Society, and the reception of these minimum PC requirements was mixed. Among the comments, some were disappointed that such a powerful computer would be required to test the game. However, others noted that it was 2022, and they claimed that it was to be expected that more powerful hardware would be necessary to keep up with the improvements in technology. Now, on the other hand, I can understand why requiring like testing PCs. Like if you're trying to test a game out, you want to have your minimum specs for testing something so it can run smooth relatively high. Kind of like I honestly would look at these specs and consider them more in the middle ground, right?
Yeah.
So like this processor, I got a better processor than this. I got more. The only thing that's kind of crazy to me is the RAM. Honestly.
Yeah, I've got 16 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, most of the average PC players do have 16. I only got 48 because of Butch. Shout out Butch. Love you, buddy. But yeah, 32 gigabytes of RAM is a lot. But you kind of, I mean, this is why I say this is more of like middle ground, especially for nowadays. So yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're running a fucking potato for a PC, like running this test isn't gonna, it's not gonna benefit anybody. You know what I mean?
I don't.
You don't know what I mean? So
I'm
running
not a PC
running
person,
kind
so.
of.
I mean, I get what you're saying as far as like what the testing parameters need to be. And
So
why
like
it's
if you're doing
as
like
far as PC wise,
if
overall,
you're if you're trying to test the limits of like the technical capabilities of something, you kind of want to have something that's on the higher end versus something that's on the lower end, because you're when it comes to data collection for these kinds of tests, you want to have something that's more or less in the middle ground or higher. That way you can get more accurate data of how to improve shit. Because if someone's running on a lower end PC, they're going to have problems anyway.
Okay.
Typically, they'll have more problems than not than everybody that has a higher end PC. So it's like you can't really like collect that data and use it as a reliable source for data to improve the game, because the PC that is running the game is already lower end than what the average person has right now. So that's why it's mixed. Because it's like, yeah, PC parts are hard to get right now, and they're also really expensive. But at the same time, it's like, at this point, like where things are advancing, you got higher end games being made. It makes sense that you want to have something that's the middle ground standard of today or better. Because lower end shit's gonna struggle. That's how it is. This tweet says like minimum RAM is 32 gigabytes. What percentage of people have 32 gigabytes? Yeah, that's the thing. Like I even said 32 gigs of RAM is a lot.
Where do you see that tweet?
It's on the article. You just keep scrolling down. It says, someone says fairly reasonable. 32 gigs is high for minimum, but let's not forget it's 2022, and the Unreal 5, which I think that's the engine he's making this on, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's in Unreal 5, and this is the earliest, most unoptimized build, I would assume. Although Unreal 5 seems pretty versatile. Excited for the journey. So it is worth noting that these minimum PC requirements do not necessarily reflect what kind of computer will be needed to run the game whenever it launches, like I said. It is possible that over the coming months and potentially years, the developers will continue to optimize the game to allow it to run on less powerful hardware. It is not the only recent news regarding Dr. Disrespect in his gaming studio, Midnight Society. In fact, Doc recently revealed in a tweet that he was debating taking an extended break from streaming to focus on the development of the project. Time will tell what Dr. Disrespect chooses to do regarding the game. I mean, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he ended up taking a break. It would kind of make sense too. It's like, you got a big project. There's a lot riding on this. You've kind of set the standard pretty high for yourself.
Yeah.
Even before.
I mean, how much is he actually having a part of it?
I mean, I honestly think that Doc is probably going to have a really prominent hand in the development of this, especially like the oversight of it, because his name is going to be on this game. Like no matter what, like this game will always reflect him. And everything that he's ever said about every game that he's played, how how things aren't looking good for games right now. Him having a subpar product would look bad for his brand and for him and his reputation.
Everyone's going to refer to it as the Dr. Disrespect game. They're not even going to call it by its title.
I love you, honey. Nice butt.
I love you too. Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, so like no matter what he does, like everyone's going to automatically associate this game with him. So his name is going on this, so I can't imagine that he won't have like a significant presence throughout development. He would almost have to.
I think he has oversight, yeah. Absolutely.
He would have to, because if he didn't, then like he could potentially, if it ends up becoming a colossal failure, or the only way I could see it being a failure is if it didn't catch on to popularity. But if it was very well optimized and stuff, it'll never look bad on him for making an unoptimized and shitty performing game. It would only say hey, that he launched a game and it didn't pick up popularity, which I can imagine that it won't. But
no matter what, in the beginning, it's going to be popular because it's his game.
Right.
So whether it maintains popularity, I mean, we'll see. but it'll launch in a pretty fucking popular state.
Yeah, it launch will be rough. I think the one thing that could probably hurt the game is if he has servers for it and his servers aren't ready to handle the influx of people that are willing to play this. Because
I don't think any game servers have ever been ready at
no, they haven't. They haven't. So if the servers, if he has issues with servers, it would be very unsurprising for me. So I'm going to tell you guys right now, whoever's listening to this, if you play this game and your server connection is dog shit, don't blame him, because no matter what, the popularity of this game is going to go through the fucking roof. And
I'm stamping July 30th, 2022.
Yeah,
Brock said it first.
I mean, I'm putting this episode out on Monday, so it's like, you know, you could take that shit to the bank. I guarantee you at launch, the servers are going to be rough. And don't gig him and the product off of that launch because of the servers. If you have a hard time connecting or the servers are crashing and, you know, he's got to work on the servers, because there is no amount of prep work that can ever prepare for that, for like overloaded servers. I mean, even the most wealthy gaming publishers that have like unlimited resources to make good servers, that have a fuck ton of servers, are going to have struggles. They always do. Never fails.
You know, there's going to be people memeing it though, and like dressing like him and talking shit about the servers.
Oh yeah, I fully expect that too. I fully predict
fucking
that.
game is dog shit.
Now the other thing is, like, I'll be more forgiving about server stability, but if he ends up making a game that like the audio sucks and everything and all that shit, then yeah, sure, give him shit, because he's always talked about how bad audio is in every game he's played.
Yeah.
So he better have some good audio, and like, yeah, all that other stuff like level design and shit. So like if it ends up being bad in those aspects, then yeah, man, that's completely on you. Like, you were watching over this thing and you thought that was good and ended up not being that good. Like,
you know, speaking of audio, I saw this TikTok where it was talking about playing Call of Duty and Warzone with midnight mode on, and it went over why. Because midnight mode is generally for like the, you know, the kids that will play late at night, but it'll drop the sounds down, so because they have the sound coming through their TV, so they don't wake every fucking buddy up in their house. And they said it takes away a lot of the sound that's unnecessary, like the massive plane sounds, the helicopter. It makes them a lot quieter, and it makes footsteps like fucking elephant feet. And I tried it, and it's true. Insane. Midnight mode is
so wait, midnight,
why are we sleeping on this?
Midnight mode amplifies footsteps and dampens everything else.
It dampens the unnecessary shit that like Call of Duty, or at least Warzone, makes ridiculously loud for no fucking reason.
Like the fucking airstrikes.
The airstrikes, the gunfire, the beginning plane going in. Like, I put midnight mode on, and I barely even pay attention to that shit anymore.
That's wild, bro. Like, I remember playing Warzone, like the fucking plane. I'm like, hang on, hold that thought. Let's jump first, and you can keep talking.
Yeah, because you can't fucking hear anything.
Or like the fucking airstrikes were so loud, dude, so loud.
Yeah, nothing. I don't hear barely any of that shit anymore. Like, you hear it, but it's not. You don't think about it to be like, well, I can't hear what you're saying now. Give me a second. It's crazy.
Speaking of loud, I have to shit so bad. I'll be right back. Dude, I've had to poop for so long today, and I haven't gotten to, and I got to poop really bad, so I got to go to the bathroom.
Have you Dutch ovened Alicia yet?
Oh man, I don't have to Dutch oven her, man. My farts are so fucking bad that she's like, why would you do that with me in here?
Oh, but just while you guys are playing games?
No, not even that. Just be like, I'll be in the room and just fart when we're watching something, and she's like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Yeah,
I need to both y'all to download No Man's Sky again."
But hey, you know what? She chose to marry me, so
true.
She said yes. She could have opted out.
All right. I need y'all to download No Man's Sky though.
I actually have been considering it. I'm going to do it because I think it's free on the Game Pass right now. So,
but don't you already own it?
Yeah, on PlayStation. I don't want to. All right, I'll be right back. Oh my god, my shit smell like baby shit. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, I know. Check this out, right? So I got this cool fucking like horn tankard from the Ren Fair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fucking Odin and the wolves and ravens.
You're like way away from the camera.
What the fuck you mean I'm way away from the camera? I'm putting the goddamn thing
Turn
right.
it more to your right. To like move it more to your right. No, that's the left. There you go.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm showing it to the actual fucking my cam. I got two cameras. The one you're looking at is different from the one that everybody sees.
Oh.
So like yeah, like it's Odin and the
I
wolf.
was like, what are you doing?
There's two wolves and his ravens, Hugin and Mugen. So and this is an antler. This is a bullhorn. It's a Viking drinking horn, essentially.
Antlers are not the same.
Sorry, it's a Viking. It's a bullhorn. It's a Viking drinking horn that's like shaped like a cup. You can't put any hot beverage in it. You can only put cold. So I put water in it.
Really? Why?
Because the heat of like any hot beverage will warp it. Because it's still a horn, like it's bone. So like it's a thinly carved bone and hollowed out, and like you need heat to soften it up, to bend it, for giving it that shape, to give it this handle and all that stuff. So that handle is actually like they cut it and they keep like a point, and then they hollow it out, and then they heat it up, and then to soften it up so they can fold it down, and then they like let it cool to harden, and then they put like enamel on it, and then he like hand carves like this design into it. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I wanted one. I mean, it's expensive as fuck. It was $160 for this.
Oh my god!
I know, but honestly, like, 'cause it's all handmade. Like, he's literally making it at his little stand. So like
That hurt my wallet.
yeah, I could afford it. I said fuck it. I've always wanted one.
This makes me think of those Viking Capital One.
This was the coolest one, because like usually at the Renaissance Fair they don't have Viking anything. So it's like it's all like Renaissance era stuff, and the most they have like Celtic shit. But like this one was like finding any kind of Viking shit is very rare. Mostly you find jewelry, like you'll find the like the little armbands, or you'll find like a Thor's hammer, kind of like this one. But it's not. This isn't one that I got there. Alicia got me this one from California. But they have some pretty cool jewelry there. It's like leather, like necklaces and shit. So yeah, like I've always wanted one of these. They even got like the mount, like the actual like belt loop thing that holds this on your belt.
You ever seen Out of Regs on TikTok?
I have, yeah.
He's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah, and
He's pretty cool. He only actually gets like 7 viewers. So he actually interacts with chat and shit.
Oh, nice.
I got him in the IW server.
Speaking of Discord servers, right? So we're going to talk about Xbox owners will finally be able to use Discord.
Nice transition.
Yeah, I think, did you do that on purpose?
I actually didn't.
Good segue, bro. Discord announced today, and this was a week ago, that it's finally adding voice chat integration to Xbox consoles. So
Get your shit together, Sony.
I know, and I don't think they ever will. So the addition means that Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One owners, even Xbox One, will get this.
Wow.
Will be able to talk to their friends on Discord voice chats from their consoles rather than having to use other devices.
Look at this. This fucking picture is bullshit.
Look at this. They're even gonna have an app, bro. Like
a whole ass overlay.
Yeah, they got their own their own integration. Like it's easy. It's really, I mean, like I don't only based off of this, you probably can only chat in Discord with friends that that you have added versus actually talking in servers. I'm guessing that's how it's gonna start.
Yeah, that could be.
It'll start with like those that you have added as a friend versus like actually being able to use it within servers, just to see how stable it is. I imagine they will eventually expand this, but I mean, like, because if you think about it, or at the most, like if you can go to other servers, you can really only integrate like interact with like other voice chats that are active.
Yeah, I mean that would make sense if it was just the voice. If you're in a server, you click the server that you're on, you can see like the voice chat.
So they're probably going to integrate like the voice channels, if anything, at the most. And at the least, it'll be just people that you have added.
I'm about to get an Xbox, get a Cronus, so I can use the PlayStation controller and fucking use Discord.
They actually might break down how it will work in this. So in a press release, Discord notes that Xbox Insider will be able to use its voice chat feature on their consoles. starting today. Oh, that's already rolled out.
Starting today.
This is
July 20th. Wow.
I know. Crazy. The feature coming at a later date for all users. As Discord notes, the feature has been widely requested by users. Shocker. Previously, the company allowed Xbox owners to connect their accounts, but could only be used to display information like gamer tags, which is what Sony's doing right now.
And it was so groundbreaking.
You know, what if,
made
what,
such
honestly,
big news.
This has me thinking, what if Sony is actually going to allow this, but right now that they're just rolling out what Xbox did? You know, allowing the display that they're playing on Xbox and to show their gamer tag. Like, what if that's...
Xbox has had that for a long time, though.
That's true. That is true. I mean, then again, like I said, it could be because Sony's dicks.
They ruin everything. They ruin the Spider-Man series. They just everything.
So Discord also confirmed that that Discord voice chat on Xbox will allow users to transfer their voice call from the app, desktop or mobile, directly onto their consoles using the Xbox mobile app. As you can see from the image below, the transfer process looks pretty straightforward. So essentially, you pull up the Xbox app on your phone or on whatever device, and you just link it to, and you just join voice on Discord.
Wow.
So Discord integration and that wow isn't like how easy that is or how like I know it's so simple. It's like you just go to the app and then say you want to chat on Discord and then boom, you're connected.
And like the PlayStation app is really good. Like honestly, the PlayStation app now is phenomenal.
I can't imagine that they won't eventually add
can easily have this.
So the Discord integration announcement for Xbox came roughly 7 months after the company announced that it was finally allowing PS4 and PS5 owners to connect their PSN accounts to their Discord profile. And that's the end of the article.
It was the worst article ever.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's really not much else to say other than that, you know.
But these graphics, though, of it, where it shows, I think it looks like you can tell because it's got like the name of the voice chat there. So that's insinuating that if you're in a server and you have like different voice channels,
you can go into
Regiment, for example, and just join a fucking voice channel.
It's crazy how, like, the one thing that everyone wants because it's easier and not everybody plays, like for PC especially. So I noticed this like on the Xbox app when I'm on PC, playing with other people on Xbox is extremely difficult to talk to them. Like, depending on the game, too. Like, the Xbox voice chat thing is dog shit.
Yeah, it's garbage.
You have to have, like, 50 different settings, like, lined up with each other in order to have voice chat work the way it should. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. And I really hate it. Like, there's been so many times where I play, like, fucking Sea of Thieves, and I can't get
these nuts fit in your mouth.
Yeah. and then I have a hard time. I can't get like in-game chat to work, so I end up going to Discord anyway. But yeah, like it's the Xbox user interface for like and the thing is I have to have like all my mic and input output settings the same on the app, on the game bar, on the game itself, and I have to go through 3 or 4 different settings and align my input and output with all of them.
That's super inefficient.
It's really inefficient. Like, and I've spent hours trying to figure like and then sometimes it doesn't work. Like sometimes it won't work, and then sometimes it will. So it's like very inconsistent too.
Like I honestly hate being on PlayStation with the setup I've got. I'm able to use Discord and have game sound and everything come through the same headset. I just have a separate mic because I have this is like my in-game mic, and then I have my Elgato mic. Sorry. I have my Elgato mic, and I hate when I have to play with either console people or just PlayStation friends in general that can't use Discord, or like they got to use the method where they got the headphone jack underneath. They've got it on sound on their phone, like they got it on speaker or whatever. It sucks because I feel for them. Like the only reason I'm able to use Discord and play on console is because I have a ridiculously expensive and hard to put together setup.
Yeah. Hey, quick question. What is your fucking wallpaper?
Are you talking about the black dots?
No, on your monitor.
The one of the pictures from the Irreverent Warriors leadership event in January. It was at the documentary red carpet event. So we're all in our really nice get-ups, and we're all taking ridiculous pictures.
Okay. I was like, is that a Saints Row wallpaper? And I was like, no, that's people. That's real people.
Well, that's me and the IW people.
So let's talk about GameStop and you know, them making money off 9/11 victims.
Or we're just one guy.
So GameStop took down an NFT based on a 9/11 victim, and it already traded for 0.165 Ethereum or $265 US. So they took it down immediately, essentially.
Listen to the article. I'm about to, poorly, but so wait for your
what
reaction.
the fuck? I read the last couple articles pretty fucking good.
I know you didn't have to sound it out as much.
So in February, wow, they announced that in February that they're getting into the NFT market.
Yeah, we talked about it before.
But we really only talked about it on here like 2 weeks ago.
No, we've definitely talked about it before that.
Oh, I put it in the article, like I put it in the podcast like a couple weeks ago. Maybe we talked about it before and I don't remember. So
I remember.
So in February, video game retailer and persistent meme GameStop announced that it was planning to open an NFT marketplace. Currently in beta, the Gamestop NFT Marketplace allows customers to buy and sell NFTs minted by an approved selection of creators. One of those creators named Jules minted and began selling an NFT called Falling Man, in which a figure resembling the iconic Associated Press photograph of a man falling from the World Trade Center on 9/11 called the Falling Man is dressed like an astronaut and described with the caption, this one probably fell from the MIR station.
What is that?
I don't know. So this person tweeted out, not only is GameStop selling an NFT of the victim of a tragedy, it's the featured image when Googling GameStop. Oh wow. That's bad. So for those not familiar with the photo, the left is the NFT and the right is the image from 9/11. Tell me that the resemblance is not uncanny.
Mm-hmm.
So GameStop NFT Marketplace currently uses astronauts as mascots in places like the form new creators have to fill out and some downloadable wallpapers. That doesn't really explain why Jules thought it was appropriate to take such a well-known and already controversial image, turn it into a tasteless joke, and then try to profit from it. At any rate, after the NFT began being criticized on places like Web3 is going just great in the Rostera forum, GameStop delisted the image. Following the link now goes to the blank page, though the original is still preserved on the Wayback Machine, whatever that.
What is the Wayback Machine? What are these terms?
Dude, there's so many fucking weird like blockchain things now that I just can't. Am I about to show porn here? Let me go group images. So for like $50, you can buy an image of an astronaut in 9/11. So this is it's an NFT marketplace. Several people have already bought the NFT, of which 25 editions were minted. The GameStop NFT Twitter account explained the decision to one such customer, saying that certain collections violated our terms of service, which resulted in the NFT being suspended from our marketplace. You will still be able to transfer these NFTs to Layer 1 and between wallets. They cannot be sold on our marketplace. Someone who complained about the image via direct message was apparently told that this NFT will be removed from our marketplace entirely. This user has already had their minting ability removed from their account, and we will already have been in direct contact with the creator about these actions. So, on the meme stock subreddit, GME Meltdown, a user suggested that the figure in the NFT actually a render of an existing 3D model of a Russian flight suit created by a different artist and used without credit or permission. So essentially, the guy that made this NFT stole someone else's graphical assets and then made an NFT out of it. And you know what? I got to say this. Had there been no backlash to this, that would still be on the fucking marketplace for GameStop. Guarantee it.
Someone would have like put a soundtrack to "I Believe I Can Fly."
Oh my god. Apparently you can't. But anyway, So like I said though, like if had there been no backlash to this, GameStop would still have this on their NFT marketplace. No doubt. No doubt in my mind. Like, and that's because that's how corporations work. They push the envelope until there's backlash, and then they backtrack. So 100% that would still have been there had no one said shit.
So I guess you could say that this idea crashed and burned.
Correct. But I see what you did there, but I'm choosing not to acknowledge it. But here's the thing. So NFTs are very unmoderated as it is. You know, when it comes to especially like especially when it comes to like what they put out for NFTs to make money off of, and the places that are, you know, allowing them on their platform are also not paying attention to them. So if it took someone actually saying something to GameStop about this for them to actually do something, like that means they didn't even know that it was there. They're just letting people fucking post shit. And it's like, what is GameStop doing right now? Like, what is this?
Apparently, this.
Yeah, I guess.
Because nobody's buying shit from their store. Do they even sell games anymore?
Yeah, dude, go to a GameStop. You'll find fucking games on the shelves. It's just not worth buying them.
That's why they're still there, because nobody's buying them.
You don't need to.
I mean, I think we went over that one topic that we're not really going over, but 90% of Sony's games this last quarter were sold online, like digital sales.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that does not ever want to see physical copies go away, even though that I know that eventually they might happen.
Yeah, like the nostalgia of it too.
Not even just that, but it's nice to be able to have the game that, let's say, you don't want to have. Like, transferring digital data is a pain in the ass, especially with a game. And a lot of the times, like, you have to buy them again.
Yeah. So while we're on the topic of NFTs and that, I think not last week, it might have been the last time we talked, or I might have just seen it, but there's some companies that are stopping being able to play some games in the past. Like, you just can't play them anymore. You can't buy them. If you already have it, you can kind of play it.
That was Ubisoft. That was Ubisoft.
Okay.
And they backed off on that.
So
they originally pulled the digital copies and the ability to even play these games, and then with the backlash that they got off of it, they changed their mind.
So I think that kind of thing is where NFTs are going to kind of head to, where if you have a digital copy of something, just like how when you have a physical copy of it, you fucking own that.
Yeah.
Copy. That's where NFTs, I think, are going. And that's the idea behind NFTs. They're just being kind of used and abused right now.
That's how Ubisoft's courts, like their NFTs and their games, they started off with Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And then when they were saying that they were ending support for Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they followed that up with thanking their NFT purchasers for quartz for Breakpoint NFTs. Those NFTs are not going to transfer to anything else. So they ended up buying NFTs that are worthless, which they already are, but they're even more worthless because they can't be used outside of a game that is dead now. I mean, it was dead before, but it's even for sure dead now because they're not even supporting this anymore. There's no more updates. And eventually, I want to say 2 years down the road, because this is usually how it goes, once they stop putting out updates, it's about a year or two before they shut servers down. So, like, you could play the game on single player, but you can't. There's no multiplayer anymore. So, like, these NFTs are completely worthless. The only person that's going to fucking see them is you. So now you have something that's, like, not even worth anything, that is, like, unique to you, but now only you will see it, and you can't do anything with it. And no one's going to... You could sell it, like, through Ubisoft Courts. You could for sure sell it, but no one's going to buy that because what's the point? You can't show it off to anybody. It's there for that game specifically. You cannot show it to anybody anymore. So, like,
that's why I think the games themselves should be more like...
I talk about NFTs so fucking much in this fucking podcast. Nelson is like convinced that I have like a hard dick for this shit. And I don't. I told him, I'm like, hey man, it's just, that's what pops up in the topics.
He's going to be like, did you buy an NFT yet? Are you going to try and sell me on NFTs next week?
No. No. Anyway, let's talk about...
You know he's probably expecting that.
No, he is. He's going to... If he ever listens to this, he's going to be like, I fucking knew it. Yeah, I knew it. You had a thing for it. So Steam, Epic, PayPal, and Battle.net have been banned from Indonesia. Popular services and
crazy. That's crazy.
Why?
To be like those, especially PayPal, but such massive companies like that, and that's that. I mean, that's pretty much where you can get any games.
That is true. So it's like people in Indonesia have like no way of buying a game anymore unless they go to GameStop.
I mean, that's true.
So I'm kind of curious about this. So Steam, PayPal, Battle.net, and Epic Game Store, and more have been banned in Indonesia. Who are the more?
There's more?
Yeah. This comes as various websites have reportedly failed to comply with new licensing regulations in the country, which would require the sites to hand over large amounts of user data in Indonesian authorities if requested.
That's why.
Yeah, so like essentially the Indonesia's like, we want all the data on everybody on your accounts. And those places were like, that's kind of a breach of privacy. And then they're like, well, then you're banned. So
how big is that country? Anyway?
Honestly, if this is the case, like they wanted our data, they wanted everybody's data at upon request, and they all said no, then fuck them. Fuck Indonesia.
True. I don't even know how big Indonesia is.
So as confirmed the routers, the website included the ban. Websites included in the ban included Yahoo and PayPal as well.
Wow. Yahoo. I mean, Yahoo's really just a search engine, but
yeah, as gaming platforms and games such as Epic, Steam, CS:GO, and Dota 2. None of these companies have put out a statement, and it is not known if they plan to comply with Indonesian regulations. I would hope not.
Fucking better not.
So Indonesian gamers have taken to Twitter to complain about the move and have shared a resource that keeps track of websites that they've been banned in the region. According to the website, Wikipedia, Twitch, Patreon, and many, many, many more also face bans as they are apparently yet to register with the authorities. So it sounds like the fucking Indonesian government is trying to do an overreach of data collection. And
that's more than an overreach.
That's a serious overreach.
That's like, we want everybody's data.
We want everyone's data, not just our people's data. We want all
much in the world.
We want everyone's fucking data in the world. And it's like, no. Why the fuck would we give you that? That's a huge breach of privacy. And
then they sell it to China.
Exactly. So it's like, fuck that. No, we're not going to give you all that information. And they're like, okay, we're just going to ban you. So it's just like, it's not the people of Indonesia's fault. It's their overreaching fucking government trying to collect data from everybody.
Imagine an overreaching government.
I know. I can't even imagine what that's like. So many across social media are already sharing ways to circumvent the new ban, enabling users to have access to their accounts once more. There doesn't appear to be any information on how long the bans will last, or if Indonesian regulations have been in contact with these companies that are yet to comply, or Indonesian regulators. The new regulations came into place November 2020 and give the Indonesian government much more power over tech giants and social media terms of service. Authorities will be able to compel companies to hand over user data when requested and order them to remove content that disturbs public order within 4 to 24 hours. Several other big platforms will evade the ban, having registered with regulations just before the deadline. These companies include Amazon, Meta, and Google. Shocker! Fucking Amazon, Meta, or Facebook, and Google. Places that'll be like, yeah, man, here's all the fucking data you want. We'll give all the data to everybody because we don't give a fuck about people's privacy.
True.
That's because, those companies have always been like that. They really have.
I wouldn't say they've always been like that, but they've definitely gotten like that.
Oh, they 100% have gotten like that. So like when it's like everybody else is like, no, we're not going to do that because that you don't need that information as a huge breach of like privacy. And then
when you think about it, Amazon, Meta, and Google, those are like the top 3 that have pretty much everybody's data already.
Yeah, facts. So that means YouTube. YouTube is doing, and they're like saying, "Here, have all that data, bruh."
I don't know what type of data that Google's or that YouTube's gonna have, but
I mean, because it's owned by Google, so.
Well, yeah, of course.
So they also push out content. So like they said, they want to remove content that would disrupt the public, order. Then they can say like, "Hey, Google, remove this from YouTube." Okay.
That's not hard. Google already fucking does that.
I know they do. Bungie was a victim of this.
Just in general.
Just in general. So let's talk about Ubisoft and these fucking cunts. A Better Ubisoft says none of its demands have been met over the past year. Shocking.
I'm so shocked. Oh,
Color me shocked. So it has been over a year since advocate group A Better Ubisoft penned an open letter to Ubisoft management demanding structural, meaningful changes to the French publisher's operations. 1,000.
Ubisoft is French?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. They have both in Canada and in France.
There's no U.S. places?
There are. Yeah, but it's mostly like their corporate offices are out of like Montreal and France.
Oh, okay.
So it has been 1 year since the advocate group. Let's see. 1,000 current and former Ubisoft employees signed the letter, which is made in solidarity with the Activision Blizzard walkout August 2021, calling for an end of abuse, both Ubisoft and video game industry as a whole. Man, that walkout was in August of last year.
It feels like it was longer than that.
No, it feels like it was more recent than that.
No, definitely not. Because I remember we were still doing in-person episodes like a motherfucker during that.
No,
like
we were, but it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. It seemed like it was like it honestly felt like it happened over the winter, that walkout, like around December.
Like it was still going on. I remember because we were talking about it for a while. But like it started pretty early. It started in the summertime.
Huh, crazy. I actually wrote a paper for my technical reporting class about unionizing in the gaming world.
You told me about that.
And then like I actually used like that walkout as a topic. I got an A on that fucking paper, bro. No big deal.
That bell curve was a motherfucker.
What?
Never mind. You know what the bell curve is?
The bell curve?
Mm-hmm.
You mean, no, what is that? Oh, is that the fucking grading curve?
Yeah.
Oh. Why don't you just say grading curve?
Everybody knows what the bell curve is.
Not I. So 1 year later, A Better Ubisoft has taken to Twitter to announce that absolutely none of its demands have been met. And as a result...
Zero demands.
Zero demands. As a result, Ubisoft continues to lose valuable employees, a disproportionate amount of which are women.
I'm so shocked.
It is 1 year to the day that we signed our open letter to Ubisoft management calling for far more action to tackle abuse and setting out our 4 key demands. Wrote a letter to Ubisoft.
I remember that letter. I think we talked about it. We'll have to go back to the episodes because I really feel like we talked about that.
I feel like we did too. Let's see what their demands are. You know, read full conversation on Twitter. Let's look at this. So here's what this is. 25% of those who signed our open letter are current employees have now quit Ubisoft to work elsewhere. Of those who quit, 60% use he, him, 39% use she, her. Oh, okay. Women represent just...
care.
So here's their demands right here. So 1, stop promoting and moving known offenders from studio to studio, basically the Catholic Church, and team to team with no repercussions. This cycle needs to, and that's what they fucking do. I've even said this, like the way that game publishers like handle abusers is they move them around like fucking like child molesting priests in the Catholic fucking church.
So in a sense, you gotta think. Because technically the military does this too.
Yeah, they do.
But but the reason is they do that until they're convicted. Because technically, like naturally should technically be they're innocent until proven guilty. So they move them away from the situation to another area. Now, if they're not taking any action whatsoever, that's a different story. But I see that as the same as like the military. They're like, all right, clearly there's an issue here. We're gonna move that person, one of the people, away from the situation entirely until the one's either guilty or the thing is resolved.
Now in the military, when it comes to these kinds of offenses, like they typically do an investigation, and then if they find any kind of wrongdoing, they chapter them out or they kick them out or whatever it is they call it in the Navy and Marines.
But there's action taken.
Yes, there's action taken to remove that person from the organization as a whole. But when I'm talking about with like the church and then this, like they don't remove them. They just move them to somewhere else. And they keep them around.
But I meant temporarily because we still will move one or both of those people temporarily until everything's done.
Right.
And then like the other person will get out. So that's what I mean. Like if they're moving them temporarily, I understand that.
But that's the thing. This doesn't actually describe like are they moving them and then getting rid of them, or are they just moving them and leaving it at that?
I know. That's why I wish there was more information on
So do I. I do too. I kind of want to know as well. Man, I really need to turn the fucking brightness up on my camera because my camera is really.
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier, it does look kind of dark for you.
It's super dark. Let's change this.
I had to turn mine down because I was looking pale as fuck.
Yeah, you were looking white boy. White boy.
And I turned the saturation up.
How's that?
So, boy, looking like Julio Iglesias. It looks the exact same.
Oh, on your end, it probably will. I'm talking about on OBS. What you see versus what the viewers see is completely different. So,
I have my camera settings as the exact same universally.
So let's go over the other demands, shall we? So
all of them basically, because none of them are met.
So 2, we want to. I didn't know what the 4 demands were. So
there's only 4 of them.
Yeah. So we want a collective seat at the table to have meaningful say in how Ubisoft as a company moves forward from here. In what regard, though? Who's we?
Yeah.
Cross-industry collaboration to agree on a set of ground rules and processes that all studios can use and handle these offenses in the future. And number 4, this collaboration must heavily involve employees in non-management positions and union reps. I mean, that's not unreasonable. Like, I understand this because it's unbiased at that point. So if you have employees, like, you do your representation, like, as your employees and union reps, like, and not have managers doing it to speak for people, then sure. I mean, that seems reasonable to me. So women represent 25.4% of our global workforce, which means that we are massively disproportionately losing women who signed our open letter calling for more action to tackle abuse. I mean, it's no surprise that fucking Ubisoft isn't doing a goddamn thing. So the article continues. So
I was just looking back. Sorry. I think this was around, we talked about this around the episode of the Nut Nap.
Nut Nap? Oh, when I first met Nelson?
Yeah.
So the key takeaways from Twitter thread include 25% of those who signed 2021 letter have now left Ubisoft. Those who quit, 39% use, I don't care about the pronoun shit. Who cares what fucking pronouns they use? Just say 39% are women and 1% are other.
Other, yeah. They gotta be specific.
And women represent just about, we already read that. So Ubisoft was rocked by a scandal after scandal beginning in the summer of 2020. Multiple executives left the company after reports accused them of harassment, assault, or abuse, leading to CEO Yves Guillemot to announce changes to Ubisoft's hiring practice to better improve the company diversity. However, employees later reported no change to Ubisoft's toxic work culture. A better Ubisoft was created to advocate for employees who wrote an open letter demanding action from Ubisoft executives. Their key demands from 2021 are once again reiterated in today's Twitter thread. Failing to meet those demands may have done a lot of damage to Ubisoft's bottom line. As employees leave, games are being canceled or delayed, leaving massive holes in Ubisoft's release schedule, which we are about to go into now, kids, with the cancellations of some future titles that they were talking about doing, man.
Yeah, but these ones should have absolutely been canceled.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, Splinter Cell VR. Like, who wanted to do that? Can you imagine just seeing some kid fucking, like, crouch walking in his living room?
I'm not going to lie. I would love to see Call of Duty in VR because that would be pretty badass.
I mean, it would, but I mean, like, other VR games do it better, honestly. Yeah, like,
probably.
Other VR...
I just think the arcadiness of it would be really fun.
Well, there's plenty of VR arcade shooters that are way better than Call of Duty. Like Half-Life Alyx, that was just like a Half-Life installment, considered Half-Life 3, but not. Is a first-person shooter horror game, and it's a VR game, and it's been.
I hate VR horror games.
Why?
I like my sleep, so.
Oh, they freak you out?
Oh, dude, my friend got me with very simple. It was like this elevator, and he did something. He pressed a red button, and like all these spiders started coming up, and then you see this massive, like 8-legged freak-looking spider staring at you, and you know 100% it's coming towards you. It's coming, it's walking slowly, and then it lunges at you, And I knew 1,000% it was gonna happen because I'm like, nothing else is gonna happen. It's gonna fucking lunge at you, and it still got me. I almost fell over. He's laughing his ass off. I'm like, you son of a bitch! I'm not playing this again.
I gotta get Alicia with this, dude. I really do. I have to do it. She hates bugs. Like we ended up finding that we had in our cupboard, there was ants in our cupboard. There were because our cupboard is right by the front door. So ants were getting in through the front door to the cupboard, and she opened the cupboard and saw that there was a bunch of bugs in there, and she's like, she cleaned it out. Oh, she opened it up, took everything out, and then she hates bugs so much she got overwhelmed by the bugs, and then just fucking gave up on the task, and I just took over for her. but she hates bugs that much, like that they freak her out, and I would love to see her play that game.
I mean, I freak out sometimes with it, especially with I hate spiders, man.
I hate spiders too. There's been
in
so many
North
times.
Carolina, there was a water bug in the like a little hand towel drawer. You pull it out, water bug crawled out. I was like, and fucking, I was gone.
You screamed so loud just now that your fucking mic cut it out. But yeah, like I hate spiders too. There's been so many times where I found a spider on my desk right here in the middle of a match, and I just find something while I'm playing and just kill it.
Dude, the moment you were telling me the spider story about your headphones, I never looked inside.
Dude, I fucking like ever since that, I like check inside my headphones like before I put them on.
Let's tell the listeners.
So it was a couple years ago. It was a couple years ago, back when I was playing in my living room. So like I didn't think I'd find a spider in my headset then. I was playing Red Dead Redemption. So I'm sitting there playing. Oh no, I was playing Modern Warfare 2 or Modern Warfare. So I'm sitting there playing, and I'm playing and I keep feeling like this tickling itch in my ear, and I'm just like going like that because it just feels like my ear's not sitting right in my headset, but it feels like that, you know, it's like kind of itchy. So I'm just like kind of going like that, and I'm going like that, and it just doesn't stop, and it's like that for like an hour. And finally, I was like, "What the fuck is in my headset?" I took my headset off, and I'm like,
"You like the little scratching sounds or whatever?"
It didn't make sounds at all. It was barely moving. It was just enough to feel something there and make it itch. So I took it off, and I looked at it like this, and out of the right headphone, a spider crawled out of it. And I was like, "Fuck!" And I threw my headset on the ground, and I tried killing it, and I lost the fucking spider.
I would burn the house down. That's when he goes and gets his friends. He's like, "I'm welcome back, motherfucker." You
Bro,
remember me?
I never saw that spider again, and ever since that moment, I like running my finger through the inside of my headphones just to see and make sure nothing's in them. But it was so fucking horrible. I'm like, that is like a gamer's worst nightmare. Is a spider in your emotional damage. But it's just like finding a spider inside of your headset is the worst. It's even worse when you lose it. So.
I would burn everything.
Dude, I was like, no. Oh,
I was on the couch the other day, and this little tiny motherfucker, he was like coming down on a string, and
he said little tiny motherfucker because his audio cut out. Continue.
Yeah, he said little tiny. It was a little tiny motherfucker, and he's like, he's coming down on a string, and I just happened to see like a glint in my eye as I'm watching TV, and I see it, and I like matrix that motherfucker and like smacked it on the couch. Oh,
I've had a spider come down straight in front of me.
Nope. That's exactly what he was doing.
I fucking like clapped that fucking dude. Oh my god.
He clapped his cheeks.
Yeah, I found a big spider crawling down my wall right in front of me when I was playing, and then he came onto my desk, and then I'm sitting there playing, and I'm like waiting for him to hit an open spot, and then I just like fucking took something and I crushed him. Like, fuck spiders, bro.
I go overkill when I'm trying to kill a spider.
I have a salt gun for these things. Like
I've seen it. We killed that like wasp that was in your basement.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it wasn't even just the wasp. There's one year, I think it was last summer. Like we had a pretty bad spider problem last year, which strangely enough, there haven't been really any spiders around my house outside. So and which I don't know why, but like there's a bunch of massive spiders around my fucking like where my flashing is by my outside siding, and I went out there with that fucking gun and I shot them. They would explode and splatter all over the fucking siding and stuff. I'm like, ew, God. And I did it because I just wanted to kill shit because that's who I am. Anyway,
I will overkill them.
Oh yeah, dude. Fuck spiders.
I think we should cancel spiders.
No, because you can't
game
cancel spiders because there are other nuisance bugs out there that spiders actually get rid of, like mosquitoes.
That's fine. Stay outside. Just stay out.
Speaking of mosquitoes, I'm surprised at the lack of mosquitoes I've had in my backyard this year. Normally, when I'm mowing, I'm getting eaten the fuck up.
It means you got a shit ton of spiders, bro.
Good. I mean, if they're killing the mosquitoes, fuck it.
Keep them outside. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
if I'm in your environment, that's fine. I'll go around.
Stay out there and don't come in here. Anyway.
Exactly. And stay out of my headset.
So, Ubisoft cancels Ghost Recon Frontline, Splinter Cell VR, and 2 other titles.
Unannounced titles, because nobody cared about them.
So, these canceled games... Why are we repeating the headline right here? It's so stupid. So the cancellations were announced today during Ubisoft's Q1 2022 earnings call. Ubisoft announced Ghost Recon Frontline in October of 2021. Developed by Ubisoft Bucharest, the free-to-play game was to feature 100-plus players engaging in PvP first-person military experience. The game was to release on PC. What?
It's been done before.
Yeah, like you mean like every other game? The game was set to release on PC as well as PlayStation and Xbox consoles. A closed beta was originally scheduled to take place on October 14th, but the tester was canceled the day before by Ubisoft so the team could create the best experience possible, and the beta never went live. The best experience possible, which means no experience at all. Accordingly, that's how Ubisoft handles it. Also, the Splinter Cell VR title was announced in 2020. Wow, it was? I don't remember this.
Yeah, it must not have been a massive announcement.
You know what? This must have happened when I wasn't recording during 2020 because I did take 6 months off because of COVID and shit. I just didn't have anyone to record with.
Yeah, well, I said Facebook Connect, so it's possible.
Yeah, so it was during Facebook Connect, which revealed Oculus Quest 2. It was being developed from the ground up by Ubisoft's Red Storm in collaboration with Ubisoft Reflections, Dusseldorf, and Mumbai.
What the fuck are these just different studios?
Dusseldorf, I think, is in the Netherlands. I could be wrong.
Dusseldorf.
Mumbai is, I think, Africa.
So it's just different studios.
Yeah, different studios, yeah.
It's like the DICE LA and DICE Sweden.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So, but what were the other titles?
They said they were unannounced.
They must have been, yeah. They must have been just titles that they never talked about. But
the second, right underneath the headline, the second sentence says, "and 2 unannounced titles."
So, I mean, it really comes as no surprise that fucking Ubisoft canceled the Battle Royale Ghost Recon game, because that game was a game that no one asked for, and they were pissed because everyone's been wanting like a really good new addition to Ghost Recon because Breakpoint was such a flop, which I knew a guy that had a pre-alpha test, he was in the closed alpha, and they were all signed to an NDA, and he broke that NDA to tell me about it. And it was so unfinished that the game, like before it released, I talked about this and how unfinished this game was, because I noticed that Ubisoft is a big culprit of doing this, announcing release dates to games and hyping them up just to fucking release them half baked. And Breakpoint was one of those games, unfortunately. Because
is the new Rainbow Six out?
No,
was it Quarantine or some shit?
Yeah, it was like Rainbow Six Quarantine. It's already out.
Or it's not Quarantine anymore. It is
like a new installment to Rainbow, but it's not really good from what I heard. I mean, I heard it was okay, but I mean, it was like not worth. It could have been a DLC. It should not have been its own game. From what I was hearing, and then they were charging like full price for it or something.
Of course.
Because, Ubisoft does Ubisoft things, so.
I bet people pre-ordered it, too.
Yeah, do people pre-order everything? They need to fucking stop doing that. All right, so let's talk about Knights of the Old Republic being indefinitely delayed, because everybody is really, I mean, like, this actually kind of sucks, and I hate this being, like, our top article right now.
Delayed, but not canceled.
Yet. So Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake was delayed indefinitely after Aspyr fires 2 directors. So let's see. The Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake was reported to be in serious trouble after Asper Media fired 2 of the project's directors. Apparently, the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is now indefinitely delayed, and the developer is looking for new contracts and development opportunities. And he says, it says Star Wars Kodar remake is delay is surprising. So, yeah, kind of. It really is. Because this is like really off the heels of their announcement. So, Knights of the Old Republic remake was in development by Asper Media for almost 3 years before it was indefinitely delayed, according to Bloomberg. Asper showed off a vertical slice demo of the game to Lucasfilm and Sony, who were pleased with the game's progress and believed the project was hitting its targets. A week later, Asper fired design director Brad Prince and art director Jason Miner, a decision that seems to be unexpected. Sources then claimed that Asper Studio heads themselves were not happy with the game's progress and that it was taking up too much time and money. So, yeah, they were wanting this game out now, and it was taking too long and costing too much, so they fired these guys. Which is a bad sign when the studio is like, hey, this is taking too long, you're fired. Because it's like you're rushing it.
They're rushing the game.
Yes. So the fate of the game is now in doubt. Asper employee claimed they've been told the company is now looking for new contracts and development opportunities for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, and has been put on hold indefinitely.
Because they want the money out of it.
Yeah.
And they're not trying to put out a quality fucking game.
Yeah, because they're going off the hype that everyone wants this game, and they know people will buy.
It's going to be Cyberpunk all over again.
Yep. Saber Interactive had been brought in to help out the game, and some Asper employees are hoping Saber takes over the development of the project completely. Either way, the game will definitely not be hitting its original release window for the end of 2022. If development continues, 2025 would be a more accurate release window now. Or it could actually be longer depending on how long it takes for them to find somebody. Asper Media... let's see. Both Asper Media and parent company Embracer have refused to comment. Of course they did. In other news, Sony is reported to be really interested in acquiring Square. Oh, who cares?
Didn't they already get Square? No, they bought somebody else. They bought
Bungie.
Bethesda.
Bungie,
that's what it was. Yeah.
It was Bungie, homie. Yeah, dude, it's not good. This is definitely not a good sign. It doesn't bode well. Let's see. This is another report that I saw. Let's look here. So, Bloomberg, by the way, for those that don't know, is Jason Schreier, who is like a really well-renowned game journalist. Let's see. As for working on it, who believe the development in the space game was proceeding smoothly. Bloomberg's resources said Asper management held a number of meetings throughout July before arriving at a decision to pause development and decided the Kodar's remake future direction. Asper also fired creative director and art director, which is actually bad. Creative director is like the creative director spearheads any game development.
Yeah, because he was what Cory Barlog was.
Let's see here.
Original.
So another source told Bloomberg that management may see the project as unsustainable after the team spent more time and money creating the demo than they expected. Kodar takes place during the High Republic period when the Jedi reigned supreme, centuries before the events of George. Oh, so this isn't just a couple hundred. This is like a couple hundred years. Centuries before the events of George Lucas's film saga, and is often regarded as a major milestone in RPG world building. The original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is still playable on PC, though naturally it looks rather dated compared to the modern reimagining of the saga would be. For now, though, it looks like they'll have to tide us over for a while. So, yeah, they basically are rushing the development and are getting rid of people that are taking their time with developing a good game. And, yeah, it's going to be a Cyberpunk situation all over again for a very well-renowned title. That's the other thing. Cyberpunk was a new thing, and when it failed, it was like, it didn't really... It set waves in the gaming industry for sure.
But not enough, apparently.
But if Knights of the Old Republic is just as bad as Cyberpunk and it becomes released unfinished and shit, that is... I can tell you right now, the games industry is going to fucking all feel it. Like, they will all feel that. And I would be surprised if Asper Media the studio behind Knights of the Old Republic remake if they just completely like fall apart after that.
I don't know, man. I think that yes.
Uh-oh.
Thank you, man. I just got a happy birthday because it's past midnight.
Is it your birthday right now?
Yeah, you don't remember Milwaukee was on my birthday last year.
Oh my fucking God. Happy birthday, bitch.
Woo,
everybody, we gotta go. If you guys are in North Carolina right now, or Virginia. I'm sorry, I'm still like stuck in Tennessee mentality. If you're in Virginia right now, fucking find Doc and pink belly that bitch.
What does that even mean?
Pull your shirt up and smack your stomach.
Oh, you said pink belly.
Pink belly. What are you, 31 now?
You said pink. I thought you said, yeah, 31.
That sucks.
It does. It's depressing. And she's still like 27.
Yeah, Alicia's still 28. So, man, I didn't realize today was your birthday. Hang on, let me put a regiment post in there.
Jesus.
Let me see. Let's go down to the staff text here.
I'm deleting it.
No, you're not. How are you going to delete it?
Like right-clicking and deleting? Or clicking on the fucking three things? The three little dots? You know what you need to do? You know what I'm requesting for my birthday?
What?
You to download fucking No Man's Sky and play with me.
Yeah, yesterday was Campbell's birthday, too.
Yeah, but he can't even drink, so fuck that little whippersnapper.
I know, I made fun of him for that. He was oh.
That's why I said Jesus.
He was playing he was in the Hell Let Loose chat because he just downloaded Hell Let Loose, and it was like what, Thursday, and he what the fuck was he saying? He was talking shit to me, and I'm like, you can't even fucking buy beer. What are you talking about?
It was today, or it was yesterday. So it became my birthday and ended Camel's birthday.
I know, so I'm like really not that late, so I can't really say belated birthday because it's not even midnight my time yet.
True. I just keep hearing these little Discord pings.
Hang on,
I've got to do it. I've got to put it in the fucking. You got to go to the chat so it goes away.
Oh, people have already seen it. And if you delete it, I'm going to keep pinging you.
I hate you guys.
Yeah, I'm going to copy and paste it and then just keep posting it. If you fucking, I'm going to copy it right fucking now. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Control C. Control V. Yeah, there we go. You can delete all you want. I'm going to keep fucking posting it. I'll spam the staff chat with it, bitch. Try me. I'll even start putting it in like the barracks. I'll put it in announcements. I'll put it everywhere.
Chris would kill you.
I don't give a fuck. I'll put it in questions for staff. Welcome new joins. Put it everywhere.
This is how Brock loses his mod status.
I lose my mod status by spamming "Happy Birthday, Doc" in every fucking channel in the regiment Discord because I'm an asshole. Oh fuck! Why is required?
And he goes off and starts a new Discord and calls it the Blacklisted Regiment or whatever.
The Blacklisted Regiment podcast. Yeah.
New Misfits. What?
No, New Misfits. I actually kind of talked to, so like during the regiment podcast, I was actually talking to Mike about, the veteran community and how fucking toxic it is, and how like you'll have like basically a lot of people are just kind of like, they expect other communities to grow their shit for them without putting in any of the work to do it themselves. And it just like kind of like some of the advice that I had was just like, hey, like, people need to fucking understand that like, You are the captain of your own ship. You are the one that will grow your channel. It's not on everybody else to do it for you. You know what I mean?
Look at me. I'm the captain now. That's 100% what they do. There's a TikTok of the dude. I can't remember his name. I'll have to send it to you. But he's got a couple of videos about like people that will stream on Twitch. And he's like, I only got 2 viewers. Like,
I've seen that. I've seen that.
You know, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
Rob
did you put it on your
Gaming or
Facebook?
something
like I don't use Facebook. Like, how do you fucking expect to grow?
On
Like, just
Instagram?
figure I go
You don't put
live
out
and,
any other content?
and so I figure I just go live and like and magically become famous. It's like
Because I feel entitled that everyone should come to my stream.
and like that's the other thing about like unfortunately with the veteran community is that like there's that sense of entitlement that because people think that like because they're vets like they're owed things and it's not how it works.
I work in admin. God damn it! Thank me for my service.
Well, yeah, it's like, you know, I understand, like, and I'm not like saying that, like, you know, your time and service should be invalidated because, like, you know, you are entitled to. How about this? I said this. I'm like, you are entitled to like benefits, but you're not entitled for things to be handed to you.
Yeah. Like, where's my 10% discount?
Like you are entitled. Yeah, sure. You're entitled to the benefits that are, you know, awarded to you, providing that you actually did your time and service and that and all that, and you met the requirements for those benefits. Then yes, you are entitled to that. But you are not entitled to like becoming. You're not entitled to like be handed everything when it comes to the workforce. This is why the fucking workforce doesn't want to hire us because. You got dudes that are going in there that are just like thinking that like, oh, like I don't have to fucking do anything anymore because I served my country and that's the you know the pinnacle of my life.
Done?
Like I was in the fucking Grafenwehr, Germany, dude. Where were you? It's just like, come on, man. I'm not saying that my time in service was all like, you know, hard fucking work. There was a lot of chill moments, but I'm like also it's like, yeah, sure, like I'm entitled to my benefits and like tax breaks and shit and like all my other stuff. By the way, I got diagnosed with sleep apnea.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to figure out how to tack that onto my fucking disability rating. I think at the most I'm probably gonna only get it up to 90%.
I think it's like an extra 10%. Actually,
30.
I don't know. Sleep apnea is quite a bit.
It's 30 to 50 depending how severe it is, but mine was diagnosed as mild, so I can get 30%. But the way the VA calculates disability is that like if you're at 70% and you get something that's 30%, they bump it down to 20%. So they only give you 20%. Because the way that they so when you hit as soon as you hit 90%, they calculate from 90% to 100% differently. So it's like the VA's math is like it doesn't make sense.
It really doesn't.
It's the VA disability math is so horrible. It's like their way of trying to find loopholes from giving you like any kind of benefit.
1,000%. Because if you're 100%, that's a shit ton of money.
It's only $3,600.
That's like more than my check now.
That's basically like paying me as if I was still in the military.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
So that you're saying that like they can't afford to keep paying me and like basically until I'm dead and which could be sooner than later. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to die anytime soon. I want to keep doing this because I know that as soon as I die, all this shit stops. But at least I'm immortalizing to fucking on the internet and Spotify. Watch my shit. My channels all become super popular after I'm fucking dead. Wow, this guy was actually really good. I kind of wish I listened to him when he was still alive and he was putting out new shit.
Now we don't have any more good shit.
Yeah,
we'll never get another episode.
Like, man, this dude was like this podcast is actually pretty fun. Like, I'm sad that he's dead and I'll never see any of that again. That's when I just
take it over and run it into the ground.
Yeah. Okay. Is your audio cut out?
It might have.
Your audio cuts out so much. You need to get a mixer and a mic like mine.
I have a mixer
for this kind of shit. Not using your Elgato and like you sit like 15 feet away from your mic. Like actually, like
this is how far my mic is.
I don't know how far that is. I just see your hand.
All right, face.
Why don't you turn to the side? Turn to the side. Stop. Turn to the side. Other side. Face your monitors and then show me the distance. Yeah, like that. Face that direction and show me the distance. In front of your face, dude. Not at the camera. Okay, that's better. See, because you want to know what it looks like for me? I'm going to show this. Like, it's just like, how far is that? It's like right here. You're like, it's like right here. And I'm like, okay, face your monitors. And here's you.
I
It's like-
didn't know what you wanted me to do.
I was just like, face the monitor and show me. You're like this. I'm like, that doesn't show me.
Yeah, I
like,
thought you wanted to see just a side profile.
no,
of
just
what it
I'm like,
was.
show me the distance from your face to your microphone, and you're just like, it's like this. Like, no, I mean, like, show me like this, dude. And you're just like what? No,
I didn't understand.
clearly not, man.
This is why I'm enlisted.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of enlisted, how's your sister liking the commission life?
Not as much as you would think. She's like, it's still military.
What do you mean not as much as I would think? I had a feeling she would fucking not enjoy it because the officer life kind of sucks.
Well, it's mostly just because she's still in training, and it's like things are such a pain in the ass, especially in medical, as far as, or not medical, in the Navy as far as pay goes, and with temporary traveling when you're away from your command, like you can go broke really fucking fast because the Navy's not going to pay you until way later.
Oh, I know.
Like your travel voucher and all that shit. The Navy is terrible with admin and travel pay and really just pay in general.
That's the military as a whole, though, man.
Well, that's because
Except
they
the
put
Air
people
Force.
like
The Air Force is on top of
in
it.
charge of fucking people's pay, and they're like, figure it out.
Of course they are. It's just not
That's
there.
why people's pay is fucked up in the Navy, because they're like, yeah, we don't have enough people to deal with this pay, so we're gonna make pretty much anyone that we can start doing pay. We're gonna send you to a 2-week course and be like, it's your fault if you fucked this up, even though we taught you nothing. That's my life right now. Yeah. I get to be, I'm the new P watcher person now.
Dude, that was my first task as a non-commissioned officer. Like my first task was a fucking was to watch dicks when I'm like fucking when people had piss tests. It was just like, all right, Higgins, you're up. You get to watch dicks. I'm like, what? Like right now? And they're like, yep. I'm like, fuck. Okay.
It's worse because I'm the whole program coordinator now.
Are you really?
Yeah. So I have to like I have to run the numbers of who's getting tested and log it and then send it off to the lab or the post office that sends it to the lab, etc. Yeah.
Hey, so does the Xbox Game Pass for No Man's Sky actually like give you all the add-ons? You're right. I don't know why I'm asking you this. But it's only 12 gigs.
What add-ons are you talking
like
about?
all the DLC.
What DLC? There's just updates.
Wait, the update? Oh, they're just updates. They're not DLC.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
I mean, it's DLC, but it's in the form of updates.
Is it on Steam?
More than likely, yeah.
Let me look.
Because my friend plays it. My friend plays it on PC.
Well, actually, I'll look at this one, like, when I'm off of here. Because we're about to wrap this up. It's like 11:30 at night, and we've been going for over 2 hours now, if you include my poop break.
If you take away the poop break, it's probably gonna be like an hour 45.
Nah, it's not a bad episode. It's not bad. I mean, like there wasn't really much to talk about. Plus, it has been
Didn't
such
have
a
the topics until we sat down.
bro, it's been such a long day for me. Like I did a 3-hour podcast this morning. I went to the Ren Fair all day. Didn't get home till 8, and then I ate food, and then we started this at around almost 9 o'clock. So it was just like
What did you and Nelson talk about? I haven't gotten that far yet.
Me and Nelson last week we talked about so Unity, the CEO of Unity.
Sounds like isn't that who Rick dates in Rick and Morty?
I don't know.
You've never watched Rick and Morty?
I've seen a few episodes of it, but no. Unity was like a mobile app publisher or something like that, or a developer, and basically like the CEO of that said that if game developers aren't considering monetization or in the early stages of development, then they're fucking idiots. And then he had to put out an apology after he said that. And then also Unity, the company, was partnering with a mobile app engine creator that was known for spreading malware.
I think I might have told you guys that one.
Yeah, that all that shit happened when I was in Tennessee. So, but yeah,
I feel accomplished when you guys talk about things that I send you.
when we talk about things and you're not here to talk about it.
Either way, the fact that I'm still contributing interesting news.
I'm helping.
I'm doing my part.
It's like fucking Starship Troopers. Like, I'm doing my part.
We've got to have another episode with all three of us again now.
I mean, we will. I just gotta. So what I want to do is I want to have. Oh wow, No Man's Sky really doesn't have any other DLC. All the updates are free.
Yeah,
that's fucking legit, and it's only 12 gigs. That is wild.
Yes, and considering how much you can do with that game.
You know what's even crazier? Looking at No Man's Sky's like all reviews, compared to where it was at to where it is now, it was like its overall reviews are mostly positive, and its recent reviews are very positive. So it's like it's crazy on how much of a turnaround this game has had. And I haven't played it on PC, and I really want to play it on PC. I think I'm gonna download it on Steam and just buy it again instead of like download. $30.
Not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. This game, and it has got a VR mode.
I heard about that. That would be trippy as fuck.
How does this game title runs on both standard VR modes, does not require a VR headset? How do you play a VR without a VR headset?
That's a good point.
Maybe it's saying that it'll play just the same on both, but you don't need a headset in order to play the game. But on VR, obviously, if you want it to be a fucking VR game, you gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's 50% off right now. I'm buying that.
So it's only $15.
50. It was $50, and it's on sale for $29.99.
No,
it's 50% off now.
So it's usually 60.
Yes.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's wrap this up, homie. So
that's how we're wrapping up. That's just nothing. It's just end.
All right, let's wrap this up.
End.
Goodbye. Yeah, Mike was saying he's like ending episodes.
Like the video.
He's like ending episodes is so weird. I'm like, you just gotta be like, all right, man. Well, all right, guys. Well, you know, it was good.
He said the same shit to me.
Yeah, I was just like, it said it's awkward at first, but eventually you figure it out. Like, honestly, like you don't really need to have some elaborate ending. Like, if you want to like plug sponsors at the end, I even told him, I'm like, because we had to take a piss break in the middle, and I told him, I'm like, plug your sponsors all right there, make like your own video to like go right in the middle, because it was like right in the middle, just like plug the sponsors like right in the middle. But
it'll cut when you cut in and then cut back,
and you cut out during the break, and then you cut back after the break, but you plug all your sponsors in. Like a lot of podcasts do it that way, so it's like
I still remember when I first started recording with you, and I would try to listen to when we would have the little stops and cuts for like the piss breaks and shit, because you could stop the recording back then, and then we would just start recording again. There was only a couple of times where I could actually figure out.
That's because I'm really good about cutting it, making it to where like audio you can't really tell. You pretty much have to watch to see it now.
Was because before it was only audio, because you would stop the recording and then we would just start recording again. So when you listen to it, there's not that break.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, you can tell it's easy.
Well, yeah. All right, bitch. I'm done now for the night. I am fucking burnt. The original intent was to bring Keisha and Nelson to the Ren Fair, because I think Nelson would have a great time. I'm gonna recruit him to my great heathen army for next year, and then I said, hey, do you want to record? But he's in Twin Cities right now for a hike.
That's right.
Apparently the Chicago hike wasn't. Apparently the Chicago hike this year wasn't nearly as like bad when it came down to like the people and the city itself. They also didn't go to the. They had one incident where a guy almost got fucking beat down by people because he actually like rode up on his bike and snatched someone's flag off of their shit and then threw it on the ground. Yeah. Welcome to fucking Chicago, you communist cunts. Fuck you, Chicago. I mean, I'm sure there's some good people in there, but mostly your city is ass.
That's crazy. Yeah. I'm really glad it was good for her, because I know how stressed that Jess was.
And then she's
staying on board too.
And then somebody walked up to them in the hike and asked if this is a white supremacist movement.
Wow.
Which
When
is
there's
what,
clearly more than white
yeah,
people.
and even someone like even else was saying like, but there are clearly like mixed races here. How could you think this is a white supremacist movement?
That's when you're like this, but he's black. What?
Yeah, I know. So like I told like he even like it was like one of those things. The only instance were those two, and then some lady was like boo like that at them, and it's just like I wish we could take people like that and throw them in Afghanistan, and be like, have fun.
Maybe they can go get some of our shit back too.
Yeah, maybe they could show the talent.
You
Show
said
the
they didn't go to Navy Pier.
no, they didn't go to the Navy Pier this time.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's where all the issues were last year.
I know when they told us we couldn't bring American flags to the fucking Navy Pier.
I was more pissed because I had set up that we could just walk around the fucking pier.
Yeah, no, it and I'm not working out that way. But they did take more extensive breaks because it was really hot.
Yeah,
It was like sunny and hot. I mean, it was still breezy because it was by the lake, but it was still it was like sunny and really hot. That photo that you saw of Nelson, he was passed the fuck out because they took a long, like hour-long break right there.
Wow.
Yeah, he said that, and it was pretty fairly early into the hike too. He said it was like it was like that was like their first stop.
God damn.
He said it was like a mile and a half, 2 miles into the hike because it was hot, dude. It was like 90 something degrees with the heat, plus like it was like 100 with the heat index. Like I remember that day. It was like really fucking hot that day.
It's been worse down here.
Transit was apparently a little bit better this time too. The buses didn't actually break down. They
See,
did.
that's out of my control. That's not fair to
That
me.
is out of your control. But I even said like, why do we only have one bus?
We had to.
So where was the other one?
Yeah, exactly. I had contracted 2 buses.
So the other one just didn't show up.
Yes, the driver didn't show.
So yeah, that is out of your control. It's just like we had 2 buses, one broke down, the other one didn't show up that day. So completely out of your hands.
Granted, at least it was after the hike, so but like still.
Oh well, yeah, but it was after the hike, but it was also like our waiting was we were there for we missed the fucking after party because it was such a long wait.
Yeah, I missed the after. I was like, I'm not going. I know I'm the host. I'm not going. We just chilled in the parking lot, and because Terry's truck was broken too.
Yeah, that too. His truck broke down, and he had to figure out how to get it started. So
like early into the hike too. That was a big portion because we were using his truck as transport for a couple of people. My photographer was never fucking there. That was a terrible decision.
oh yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so let's end this. It was good seeing you again, buddy. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Even though it's not midnight my time yet, but it is at your time, so it is your birthday.
I'm old. Are you trying to play some No Man's Sky tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to a birthday thing tomorrow for Alicia's coworker. We might not actually go because
I'm doing something with Steph too, so
depending on how we feel and what time it's at. Alicia doesn't really like to she's all peopled out, dude. Like like us socializing like at the fucking Ren Fair was enough for today. It was enough for the whole fucking week.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I'm to the point now where I'm with her on this, and this is one of my favorite things about her is that she likes to turn in pretty early. She is not the kind of person that likes to go out late, and she doesn't like being around public places for very long. Where when I was with Steph,
the difference is Steph will both stay up late though.
Yeah,
so we're the same, but
Alicia will, like, if it's a Friday or something, like I'm coming home from work, she'll be up until about 1 or 2 in the morning playing like whatever she's playing, and then we'll go to bed. But normally, like on a normal weekend, if we're not already doing something, like, or if we've been doing something all day, like, dude, when we were in Tennessee, we went to bed at the latest at like midnight. Yeah, we woke up every day at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's a regular day for me.
You don't wake up till fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about during the week. I'll go to sleep at like 12.
Yeah, but we were on vacation doing this.
I guess that's fair.
So we were on vacation.
Less sleep shit.
So we didn't really go out anywhere. Like the places that we did go out, like mostly because everything was fucking expensive. So like we would go to bed at like we would turn in, get back to our Airbnb and at like 10 o'clock at night, and then just kind of turn in. So she likes to turn in pretty early, which is nice because I don't like staying out too late anymore. And I remember when I was with Stephanie, Like, she would want to go until the fucking sun came up. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I am too tired.
Dude, those pictures you showed of where you proposed to her, I thought you were like taking her body to bury her.
You could. You really could. The photos don't do
You
it
just
justice.
sent random pictures. I was like, are you burying the body? What are you doing right now?
This is where it is. No, like, so the place that we went to is called the Beauty Spot, and it's very I hold that place very dear to me because it's not far from where my grandfather grew up, and it was his favorite place in all of like that whole area. And when we were kids, he would take us up there several times. I think the last time I was up there before this, I was in sophomore in high school. And I even said when I saw that place, because when you go up there and you could see the Appalachian Mountain Range from Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina all from one spot. So you're up there and it's completely open minus some trees. And from like left all the way to behind you is just the whole mountain range. You can just see everything. It's crazy. So the photos I sent you really don't do it justice. It really doesn't. So, but you could see so much. And I brought her up there and I was just like, you know, I'm like, this place is very important to me. And I even said to myself in sophomore year, I'm like, I will propose to my future wife here.
Did she have any suspicions? Because I did listen to the one of the episodes with Nelson where you guys were like whispering real low.
She did, because I thought she was still here, but she wasn't. But she did have suspicions. She told her dad that she was suspecting, and he denied it.
Yeah, I remember because he said that in the episode.
Yeah, and then he warned me about it. And but she actually, like the week prior, talked herself out of it even being a thing. So she had suspicions, but then she like talked herself out of thinking that that was going to happen.
Well, because you said you had said something around her.
Yeah, it was on 4th of July. We were at a 4th of July party, and somebody was talking about marriage, and I told my buddy, I'm like, yeah, you don't want to get married. You don't want to get married.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And she got really upset. You know, I was like, I did that intentionally to kind of throw her off my trail. And I think it was around then she was like, talked herself out of maybe me proposing. I don't know. She never.
Maybe she was like, "This is the end of the relationship." I guess you're never gonna do it.
No. She was actually just like, I was wondering what you meant by that. I was like, I was just trying to make him feel better. I was like, came up with some bullshit excuse, but the truth was, I was like trying to throw her off the trail about me proposing to her because I'm like, I already have the fucking ring. Apparently, she's got my wedding ring picked out already.
I got mine in the mail the other day.
Did you?
It's got like baseball stitches all around it.
Wait, you have a wedding ring already?
Yeah, of course.
Are you married?
No.
Well, when are you?
I'm not wearing it. I'm saying it came in.
So you have a ring now. So that means you guys got to be getting married soon, right?
That's the plan. Yeah.
So when?
Yes.
Why don't you just pick a date and then fucking get it all planned out? Who's holding this up? You?
Really nobody, honestly.
You guys are just not actively trying to like plan it? Yeah. Oh man, me and Alicia.
It doesn't really take any planning.
Me and Alicia already were going over a game plan like the day that I proposed.
We don't plan like that.
Oh, we do. Well, we want to, because it's a good thing we did, because like the state of Wisconsin is like really specific on the things they need from you. And plus she also found out because she's divorced. So she has to have like her divorce papers and shit.
Oh yeah, we don't have to have any of that.
So
shit.
she has to bring her divorce stuff and like our birth certificates and all that other shit. They want like I think they even want our high school diplomas.
Because you need that.
Well, I don't know. They just want to prove, or I don't know what they want to prove. They want to show that we have like some form,
they educated enough
some form of education. But I'm like, there's plenty of fucking morons out there that shouldn't be getting married, that are getting married, that are like, why do you
like every Marine?
Yeah. Yes. Marrying strippers and shit. So it's like, I don't know. What do you need all this? Like there was, I can't remember what all it was, but there was a few specific things that I was even asking. I'm like, what the fuck do they need that for? But okay. And at first on their website, it was very confusing. It said we needed to provide our own officiant. And I'm like, this is going to be a courthouse wedding. Why do we need an officiant when the judge is right there? That's the officiant. We just need witnesses. So we were actually shopping around for officiants, which is going to be like 500 fucking bucks. And
what? No, find someone that's fucking ordained.
That's what we were trying to find, like find someone that's ordained but is non-denominational, because that was the other thing. We had to find someone that wasn't going to be like extra religious about it, because most of the officiants are like, we want to meet you guys and like talk to you about things because you know a lot of the fucking officiants are like religious nuts, so they want to like know that like this is sanctioned under God and all that fucking bullshit. And I'm like, oh, but no, we don't have to do that.
You can find people because you can get ordained.
We don't need it, but we
certified.
don't need to do that. It was just the website. It was very confusing.
Well, no, I mean you can literally get like I can get ordained on the internet in probably like a day.
Yeah, I mean it's easy to do. I can get ordained too. I want to get.
That's what I mean. Like,
you know what I want to do? I want to get ordained as to do like Viking type ceremonies, like that kind of shit. Because there's nobody around here that does that. And I would really like to do like Norse ceremonies and shit. That'd be pretty cool.
All you gotta do is just sign the papers for people, ultimately, or read the word.
No, for like let's say people want to do a ceremony, and I'm.
No,
like,
I understand, but regardless, it's still ultimately what you're doing.
Yeah. So we got to figure out where we're going to go for the actual like one-on-one ceremony, what we're going to do, because she's getting a dress and I'm going to get a tux and all that shit. We're going to have like a themed like ceremony with just me and her, and we need to get a photographer, but we're also going to make a honeymoon out of it. So I don't know. There's a lot of discussion on that. But anyway, I'm going to get the fuck off here. I'm exhausted.
Like the video.
Yeah, so guys, if you like this video, I'm looking at the wrong camera. If you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Spotify. Check us out on Twitch. Check us out, obviously, on YouTube because you're watching it there.
I mean, they can watch it on Spotify, too.
Follow me on Twitter, BLGPTTV.
LGBTQIA? Is that what you just said?
No, BLGPTTV. Wow, it really does kind of sound like...
It does.
I have my own fucking, like, special flag, I guess.
He goes by he, him, I guess.
We're not doing that. Anyway, guys, love y'all, and I appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next one, okay? Have a good one. What?
Said stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water, but even if it's out of a fucking bullhorn. Hey. All right, good night, guys. Bye.